Billy, in researching questions we were going to ask for the show, I stumbled across a YouTube video where I ended up watching the whole hour and 45 minutes. And unlike most things we watch.
So sorry.
No, unlike most things we watch, I have to tell you honestly, it wasn't an hour and 45 minutes I want to get back because it was worth it. I'm paraphrasing, but you gave your definition of what you thought being wealthy or rich or whatever it was, and it wasn't about a monetary value. It was about having a career in and around music and family, which of course hits us all right here. Is that still your definition? And as part of that piece of knowledge, what would you tell, you have to ask the question, what would you tell someone that's either just gonna enter or has hit rock bottom, is looking for that light? Because when you hit rock bottom, you don't go to someone that knows how to dig ditches. You go to someone who's been there and gotten out. So it's a two-part answer. Please.
So I met with a guy who's the CEO of a major music company last week. And we were talking about another person who is a C-suite executive. He was commenting that he went to business school with this other person. And he said, but, so-and-so's a lot more successful than me. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, he's got a lot more zeros than me. And I said to him, wait, is that, so your version of success, that's what it comes down to, is the extra zero. Now, it's interesting because for starters, you got to be real privileged to have the debate at this altitude in the first place. But I thought to myself, how insane it is that this person I'm speaking to is C-suite executive, wildly successful, happy family life, endless resources, is still in his own mind not measuring up to this colleague. And it was insane to me. And I said right there, I was like, I don't understand that. But to circle back, I think that in and of itself is pretty self-evident. We have a very skewed version of how we deploy so-and-so is successful, what rich is. I know a lot of people with money who are utterly miserable, and they can't spend or earn enough money to make themselves happy. So I would say is that ultimately money cannot buy you certain things that are required, like your health or who will care for you, or family who are, your friends or your family. So I think that we're all learning that one way or another, whether we like it or not. To me, being rich is the same as I thought it was before. If anything, it's just more pronounced. How blessed I feel that I'm happy being quarantining with the people in my life. Like that is a luxury item. But if rich, or the definition of rich, isn't any more evident that it's not just the money today, it will never reach the people who don't get it. So the people who do, which I think most people do now, the question is, what do we do with it as a society? And I'm actually excited about that. This feeds into ultimately what happens as any person in any field has to think about why they're doing what they're doing. And I think of the sort of three pieces of advice I would give people, one is, do you love it? Because you got to really love it. Or I would like to think that if you get the opportunity to do something that you love, that you take it. So do that. The second thing is, are you willing to be both stubborn and elastic about it? You can be stubborn about, I am committed to my art, I'm committed to becoming a doctor, I'm committed to something, but am I also elastic enough to realize that I'm not in charge of the path? And you got to leave those portals open for unexpected both opportunities and setbacks. I said I was going to be a doctor, and I hated biology, but I really enjoyed chemistry. Where does that take me? Are you willing to go through doors and windows that frankly you didn't anticipate, but will you allow yourself to change and be a little more elastic? So that's the second thing. And the last thing, which I think is really the most important, and I say this to artists all the time, don't just think about your career as that moment you stand on the top of the mountain with your award or your plaque or your number one, and think of all the people you're going to say, I told you so to. The real wise person, the real success stories are the people that have learned that the whole mountain, all of it, is really where like the richness lives. It's not just in the moments you get at the top. It's do you know that landscape, and do you have ownership and shared community with the whole thing? And I feel like that's the greatest thing about my life and career is like I love the mountain, and wherever I am at any given time, like I've been having hits for 30 years, and I've had a lot of misses over those 30 years, but I've never left the mountain. So I think the rest is just get lucky and work your ass off.
Incredible. Billy, I say this to you all the time. You know, as a friend, you always motivate and inspire me every time I'm around you. Seriously, and I love the way you look at life, the way you look at family, music, the artists you work with. It's always so great to be around you. And thank you so much for coming on Deeper Dives with us.
And today, Sharon, we answered the eternal question. Who's the man? Billy is the man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you again on Deeper Dives.